you have to give some message maybe about your stay, some realization. Maybe you can speak for some time if you want, or later, tomorrow evening, maybe after. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Radhe. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jaya Nityananda Ram, Jaya Nityananda Ram, Nityananda Ram, Jaya Nityananda Ram. जय नित्यानंद राम, जय नित्यानंद राम, नित्यानंद राम, जय नित्यानंद राम। जय नित्यानंद राम, जय नित्यानंद राम, नित्यानंद राम, जय नित्यानंद राम। निताय 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 गौरांग, निताय 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 गौरांग, निताय 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 गौरांग गौर हरि। जय सच्चिनंदन गौर हरि। गौर 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 हरि। गौरा गौर 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 हरि। गौर 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 हरि। गौर 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 हरि। निताय निताय निताय। गौर 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 हरि। गौर 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 हरि। गौर हरि प्रभु गौर हरि। प्रेम प्रदाता गौर हरि। महावदान्याय गौर हरि। महावदान्याय गौर हरि। हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल। जय जय जगन्नाथ 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 जय जय। जय जय जगन्नाथ 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 जय जय। जय जय जगन्नाथ 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 जगन्नाथ। श्री हरि नाम संकीर्तन महायज्ञ की जय। कलयुग पावन नाम संकीर्तन की। गौर प्रेमानंदे हरि हरि। I had another realization taking Jagannath's name. I felt Jagannath wanted to dance, but because he does not have his legs, that's why he appeared as Gaurahari, so he can dance in front of himself. जगन्नाथ जी, जगन्नाथ स्वामी हृदय में नृत्य करते, नाचते हैं राधा वृंदावन का स्मरण करके, लेकिन जगन्नाथ स्वयं नृत्य नहीं कर सकते। इसीलिए शेई जगन्नाथ, जय कृष्ण शेई जगन्नाथ शेई गौर, he became Gauranga Maha, he became Gauranga Mahaprabhu to dance in front of his own form. It is so sublime. You know why the gopis called him Jagannath? Explain. What is the meaning of Jagannath's name? Yeah, but my question to you will be that why did the gopis call him this kind of Lord of Universe? This is not a Vrindavan name. Why? ये जगन्नाथ का नाम तो ब्रज वृंदावन में नाम नहीं है, ब्रज का नाम नहीं। हाँ, तो गोपियों ने क्यों जगन्नाथ बुलाया? ये मेरा प्रश्न है। Why Jagannath? Why the Rasika Vaishnavas chant Jagannath's name if it is a name Jagannath, which is like a more like a Srishti Karta, Jagat Karta, and in Harinam Chintamani there are mentioned primary names and secondary names. Other names may be secondary, but Jagannath is a primary name. Why? Yes. Nath. Yeah, it's Nath. Jagannath.
Oh, Nath actually.
Yeah. Nath means master. Control. पर मैं हाँ ये जगन्नाथ रसिक नाम क्यों? Why it is a रसिक नाम? So when the normal devotees they chant Jagannath, they just think he is the Lord of the universe, and I mean they chant in that opulent awe and reverence. But the gopis chanted Jagannath in a totally different way. I have given several meanings to this because while doing kirtan, they get revealed. But in few which I remember is that it's very intimate. Some meaning which is that Jagannath means the gopis, they called, Radharani called this name to Krishna in Kurukshetra. Jagannath. Because Krishna was dressed like a king and with golden. So what the gopis mean by that is it's a very painful experience. The Radharani and gopis are crying with pain. Jagannath. The name of Jagannath is bringing their pain in their heart because Krishna is standing in front of them, but they cannot enjoy with him in the Leela. So they are Jagannath का name है बहुत मर्म राधा रानी के हृदय में कि भगवान सामने खड़े हैं लेकिन लीला नहीं हो सकता. So why the gopis said Jagannath? The reason is because they met him after 100 years in Kurukshetra, and they looked at him and they said, Jagannath means you are the master of the universe, the creation, but you have forgotten us. Hari Bol, Jai Ho, Hari Hari. You have forgotten us. So by chanting the name of Jagannath, the gopis are kind of complaining to the Lord. You got the point? Hari Bol. They are complaining. Oh Jagannath, you are the master of creation, but why we are also part of your creation? You forgot us. You left Mathura when you were 11 and you never came back. So it is a painful cry. It's a kind of a metaphor. Gopis are complaining. गोपी भगवान से बोल रही हैं आप जगत के नाथ हैं लेकिन हमको भूल गए. हम भी आपके जगत के भाग है. So it is ironical. It's a very ironical thing. That on one hand you are Jagannath, on the other hand you forget You are not. You are the maintainer. You are the protector. You are the everything for everyone in this creation, but still you forgot us. So your name of Jagannath will only become fruitful if you again accept us and you come back to Vrindavan and you dance with us. आपका जगन्नाथ नाम कभी सफल होगा जब आप वापस वृंदावन में आएंगे और हमारे साथ नृत्य करेंगे रासलीला में. Man, it's such a beautiful meaning of Jagannath. It's a very rasika meaning of Jagannath. And Krishna, because he was in the Dwarka Bhav, he had to refuse. I mean, he couldn't come at that time. He couldn't come to Vrindavan. So Radharani, she put Krishna in her heart and she made the Ratha cart and she is pulling Krishna to Vrindavan. Radha kahe moro mono Vrindavan. Radharani said, Chaitanya Charitamrita says, my mind is Vrindavan. So actually this Ratha Yatra is why such a high Leela. You know, I mean, when the Lord danced in the Ratha Yatra, Gauranga Mahaprabhu, even his associates could not understand the meaning of the verse he was chanting. Madhura Murali Panchama Jushe Tad Ubhayo Radha Sangama Sukham Manomi Kalindi Vipinaya Spruyati. I mean, he was chanting a very difficult verse starting with Vetasi Tire, described in Chaitanya Charitamrita. But very few associates of the Lord could understand Swarup Damodar, Ramananda Rai and Rupa Goswami. And Rupa Goswami he was such a great personality that he not only understood that verse, he composed another verse which was similar to that verse. He composed spontaneously. He composed another verse and he went back to Siddha Bakul and he after composing that verse, Rupa Goswami felt very humbled. He said, no, I should not try to understand the mind of the Lord. You know, how can I try understand the mind of the Lord? Bhagwan ka man मैं कैसे समझ सकता हूँ? Rupa Goswami ने श्लोक तो लिख दिया. तो सोचने लगे भगवान का मन मैं कैसे समझ सकता हूँ? He felt very humble. He put that leaf top of the tree, this bakul, and he left to take bath in the ocean. And the Lord came. And he, at that time, when he saw that leaf, he saw that shlok, he says, this is a miracle. How did Rupa understand my mind? You know, nobody understood my mind. Prema Swarupe Sahaja Birupe Tata Swavilasa Rupe. When Rupa Goswami's body is the place of the Lord's pastimes, Swavilasa Rupe, he is non-different in one way. Being the leader of all the Manjaris in Braj Leela, I mean Rupa Manjari, he is the topmost of all associates. Because I'll tell you a reason. Do you know why the Manjaris are higher than the Sakhis in Krishna's Leela? Yes. 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 Yes, that is one reason. But do you know why they have access? And why the Sakhis do? 12 and a half years and Sakhis are 15 years. So Krishna and Radha feel a little bit shy to perform their Leela in front of the Sakhis because they are the same year and the Manjaris are smaller. Manjaris, रूप मंजरी, रूप गोस्वामी सब मंजरी जो 12 साल के हैं तो राधा कृष्ण उनको निकुंज में आने देते हैं, लेकिन सखियों को नहीं आने देते. सखियाँ 15 साल की, थोड़ा शर्म आता है राधा और कृष्ण को. But a very confidential reason, another reason is that the Manjaris become very dear to Radharani because, you know why? Because they refuse Krishna. They refuse Krishna's offer to enjoy with them. Krishna tells the Manjaris, okay, let us dance, let us embrace. The Manjaris says, no. They refuse Krishna's offer of Anga Sangha. Zoom किया है क्या? Close up और close कर. They refuse Krishna's offer of Anga Sanga. Sakhis are known as Yutheshwaris. They have their own groups like Lalita, Vishakha. They have their own groups, so they call Krishna into their group and they enjoy with Krishna. They actually in Nidhivan, Seva, Kunj in the bushes. But Manjaris, when some Manjari serves Radha and Krishna very nicely, Krishna goes to the Manjari and says, "Come, let us enjoy." Manjari says no. You know why? You are staying in Vrindavan, you should know all the secrets. The Manjaris say no because they do not want to displease Radharani even a little. They do not want, they fear that if they may enjoy with Krishna, then maybe Radha may become a little bit unfavorable to them, and if they lose the service of Radharani, there's nothing in their life. Manjari, man means the mind, they are the mind of Radha. Whatever Radha's emotions are there, they arise in the Manjaris. I told you that, right? Once Radharani asked Krishna for a mirror. Krishna said to Radha, "Why do you need a mirror?" Radharani says, "While doing my pastimes, all the bhavas are arising in I want to look at them." Krishna says, "You look at the Manjaris, they are having the same bhavas as you." So, Radha Krishna sukhe, Radha Krishna milone ami sukha mani, Radha Krishna virahe ami dukkha kori. That is the bhav of the Manjaris. They are happy when Radha and Krishna unite, and they are unhappy when Radha and Krishna are separated. They don't want to unite with Krishna. That is not their happiness. Their happiness is to unite Radha and Krishna. That is why the Manjari's love reaches such high limits, and that is why Rupa Goswami is such a the greatest of all acharyas. That is why we are known as Rupanugas. And I mean, Radharo Mahima Prema Rasa Sima Jagate Janato Keha. When he writes Vallabha, what is his name? Narhari Sarkar, he writes in the song that without Gauranga, who could reveal Radha's love in this world? So when he writes that, he actually means that the love of the Manjaris. I mean, that is what Gauranga Mahaprabhu has come, because along with him, his Manjaris came, his associates, the 6 Goswamis, they came in this world. That is why we are very fortunate. He did not come alone. Sango Panga Astra Parshadam Yagyai Sankirtanai Praya Rijanti Sumedasha. He did not come alone. You know, Gauranga has 2 weapons. You know what are his 2 weapons? Jiva Goswami mentions this, where he delivers all the living entities. Maybe 3 weapons, but basically 2 are unique. I mean, you know this? 2. Krishna Varnam Tusha Krishnam Sango Pangastrapa. It is described in this verse in the Bhagavatam that the Lord's first weapon, in which he subdues the atheistic people, that is his bodily beauty. Sango Panga, Upanga, Anga means his bodily limbs. By seeing Gauranga's beautiful form, even the gross materialists, they become devotees. So actually his bodily form is the greatest weapon. And the second weapon, I mean, is Sangha, Upanga, Parshadam, his associates. Nityananda Prabhu and Advaita Acharya are the 2 main branches coming from Gauranga's tree, and from them come further branches. Upashakha, Shakha, the main 2 shakhas. Gauranga is the trunk of the tree, and the 9 roots are the 9 sannyasi disciples of Madhavendra Puri. described in Chaitanya Charitamrita. Gauranga is the trunk and Nityananda and Advaita are the main branches of the tree. And now the tree has spread all over the world. I mean, there are so many branches, sub-branches, and it is flowering everywhere. But no branch, one branch should not say, I am the only branch. I mean, each branch should glorify, help the other branches. I mean, appreciate the service of the other branches. So that is the family of Gauranga Mahaprabhu. I was saying, yeah. So the first is his beauty, secondly his associates, and third is the holy name. These three things Gauranga Mahaprabhu has brought to this world: his bodily form, his beauty, his associates, and his name. He has brought to this world. In Navadvip Dham Mahatmya, Gauranga Mahaprabhu proclaims, he says that to that extent my name will spread in Kali Yuga, to that extent Kali Yuga's influence will go further away. To that extent my name will spread. Prithvi te ache jato nagaradi gram sarvatra prachar hoiba mora naam. Gauranga Mahaprabhu said every town and village will chant his name, my name. So my name means Gauranga's name. Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Mahamantra is also Gauranga's name, because Gauranga is Krishna himself. So Hari Nam is also Gauranga's name. And Gauranga's name is also, he has unique names also. Sachinandana, Gaura, Hari, Nimai, Gauranga. That are also his names. That's why Prabhupada, when he went to America on the Jaladuta, he wrote a beautiful song, Markine Bhagavad, you read that day. In that he writes one important truth. He says, actually he writes in the mood of Nityananda Prabhu. That's why Sridhar Maharaj called him Nityananda Avesh. He called Prabhupada. Because he writes, yes. But there is one verse in that. He says, Taro ichha bolovano pashyate thana thana prachar hoibe gaurangero nama. He says, my Gurudev's desire is very strong. By the power of his desire, I am going to the Western countries. Because I was an old man, but by the desire of my Gurudev, I am going there. And by the desire of my Gurudev, first Gauranga's name will spread all over the world. He writes, Taro ichha bolovana pashyate de thana thana prachar hoibe gaurangera nama. Because unless Gauranga's name will spread all over the world, people will not get the sukruti to vibrate the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Then the next verse is rise Taro Nagara Nadi Gramo Gaibe Krishnero Namo. That when people understand who is Gauranga, then they will be able to chant Hari Nam. They will be able to chant Hari Nam. Bhakti Vinod Thakur says, you fall at the feet of Gauranga and beg the Mahamantra. What is this? Bhakti Vinoda Prabhu Charane Podiya Hari Nam Mahamantra Loiya Maji. So you beg at their feet. Hari Bol. Hari Bol. હું અડધો કલાકમાં ફોન કરું, આ કથા ચાલુ છે અડધો એક. હા. So he beg from the Lord the holy names. That is why Sridhar Maharaj, he wrote a very interesting thing. Bhakti Pujyapad Bhakti Rakshak Sridhar Maharaj, he said that Mahaprabhu and Nitai met in Puri under a tree, and Mahaprabhu told Nitai, you go to Bengal, you get married, and you preach the holy names. You know why Mahaprabhu told Nitai to get married? It's very confidential. I mean, Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami also does not mention. He says that the discussion which has happened between both of them is confidential. Only they can understand. We cannot understand. We are Jiva. We are Shudra Jivas. And they are the Supreme Lords. But we can get a little bit of a hint. The fact that Yadyapi Nityananda Shura Badi Jai Tathapi Janyami Nityananda Rai. In Chaitanya Bhagavat, it is described that even if Nityananda Mahaprabhu, Nityananda Prabhu, actually, Kavi Karnapur says there is one Mahaprabhu and two Prabhus. I mean, Gaurangam is known as Mahaprabhu and Nityananda Prabhu and Advaita Acharya are known as Prabhus. But normally, I mean, in Chaitanya Bhagavat, Vrindavan Das Thakur calls Nityananda as Mahaprabhu. I mean, it is his bhav because of his mercy of Nityananda. So he calls in Eka Chakra, like in the Janmastan, they call him Mahaprabhu, like he's in the center, Nityananda Mahaprabhu. And Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur writes in the commentary that it's not wrong. I mean, if there is a bhav like that, one can call Nityananda Prabhu as also Mahaprabhu. But basically, we as Gaudiya Vaishnavas, we call Gauranga as Mahaprabhu and Nityananda as Prabhu. And one thing, I would like to point out in this regard is normally nowadays, while addressing devotees, like if a devotee's name is Nitai Das, right? We call him Nitai Prabhu. Technically, that is not correct. If you call a devotee as Nitai Prabhu, it doesn't become the name of the devotee, it becomes the name of the Lord. And the P should never be capital. The P capital is always used for Vishnu Tattva. But all our acharyas said we have to address other Vaishnavas as Prabhu. So what we will do? What is the solution?
I've seen you doing like writing Nitai Das Prabhu.
Yeah, that is the correct way of because why the Vaishnavas are our masters, Prabhu? Because they are Das first. They are the servants of the Lord. That is why we accept them as Prabhu. So if we remove the Das, this Das word is very important. The whole Chaitanya Charitamrita in the Adi Leela mentions how much fortunate it is to become a Das of the Lord. Even Radha Rani is a Dasi of the Lord. So Dasya Bhav is such exalted Bhav. So being Das is the greatest degree, greatest qualification one can give to a devotee. So we should never skip the word Das. In Gaudiya Math, normally devotees address each other as Das. They say Nitai Das, Prabhu. But sometimes we say Prabhu because he is our master. So we can add Prabhu, but should not leave out the Das. If we leave out the Das, then it will not become a name of the devotee. It will become a noun. It will become the name of the Lord. Nitai Prabhu. Now Nitai Prabhu cannot be the name of a devotee. Nitai Das Prabhu. So that is the... And Matajis, many Matajis don't know that devotee Matajis, but when we add when the name of a Mataji is related to a male consort, I mean a male associate like Chaitanya Dasi, you cannot add Chaitanya Devi Dasi.
Deva Das.
Huh?
Deva Das.
Yeah, I mean you can Chaitanya Deva Dasi. I mean you need not add Dev. It just you have to be only Dasi. But if the name is of a female consort like Radha Rani, so then you add Radha Rani Devi Dasi. So the Devi word is not meant for the Matajis, it is meant for Radha Rani. That is that is many devotees, they don't know that. Radha Rani Devi Dasi. We are only Dasis, we are not Devis.
Devi Radha, title out. Devi title out.
So that is why when there is, like we say, Gauranga Dasi, Advaita Dasi, Sita Thakurani Devi Dasi. Whenever the name is a female, then we add Devi, because Devi is meant for that name.
Why not Devadas?
Devadas, Chaitanya Devadasi. You can add Devadasi, but it depends on the Guru. If he normally, you don't need to add also. It depends. I mean, the Prabhupada, he gave the name Chaitanya Dasi. He did not say Devi, Chaitanya Devi Dasi. Chaitanya Dasi. So Prabhupada knew the Siddhanta, the Tattva. So, but sometimes I see devotees adding Devi to all names. You know, all names, all Matajis they add. That is, the Devi is pertaining to the Lord, and the Das is pertaining to the devotee. Das Prabhu and Devi Dasi. And then you can add Mataji. That's another thing. When you address Mataji, normally then devotees tend to skip the Dasi. If somebody is Chaitanya Dasi, then you should say Chaitanya Dasi Mataji. If you say Chaitanya Mataji, then again there is a problem in the proper addressing. Chaitanya Mataji is a totally wrong Sanskrit.
Sachi Mata.
Sachi Mata. Yes.
How about addressing the girl who's not a mother, who's just a child? Is it correct to address a girl?
Yes, because we are her children. I mean, that's what parastri matra daruvat in the. I mean, it's in the Bhagavatam. It says that all female-bodied souls are. We look them as our mothers. So that is why we say Mataji, even if they don't have a child. And recently, I mean, there is presently a trend. It has become quite popular. I mean, it may be okay. I mean, it's not such a thing, but I personally don't. I mean, that the god brothers and god sisters, they call Didis. You know, Didi's word. Didi's word is a Hindi word. It's not in Sanskrit. And even if you are god brothers and god sisters, still we are servants of our god brothers and god sisters. And we should address them as Prabhu, Das Prabhu and Matajis. I mean that's the way Prabhupada they were taught us. This Didi word was not at that time. I mean, any of our acharyas. Yeah. Yes. Yes. Yes, and also it creates a respectful mood. It creates a respectful mood, and we remember that Mataji's. I mean, when we say Mataji, we remember that they are not meant for our enjoyment; they are meant for the Lord's enjoyment. Kanaka Kamini, we respectfully. So that's why that is a very nice term. So, but the Dasa and the Dasi, that name should not be left out in any case. That is the main substance of our bhajan. To call somebody Das and Dasi, this is a very high level of contribution. Even if you add the word Didi, like a sister, God sister, but don't leave out the Dasi. At least say Dasi Didi, whatever it is. But and in that way you are reminding that devotee also that you are a servant of the Lord. You are a servant of the Lord, and that is why you are my master, because you are a servant of the Lord. So
Didi normally means older sister.
Sister, yeah, older sisters, yeah. Yes. in India generally Didi means sister. Younger, older they call them. There's no problem. Younger, older. Didi means sister, general word.
That's what
Mm. Pardon? Yeah. So that is not correct, and that is why also some devotees say we can address Mataji's as Prabhus. That's okay, it's a subjective opinion. Prabhupada did write 1 or 2 letters where he did that, but normally Prabhu in Sanskrit means a male address, and Prabhavi, maybe if you go to Prabhu, exact female of that, it becomes Prabhavi. Then that can be a normally disrespect towards Matajis or female bodied devotees is because of sense enjoyment mentality, because of the ego. And in Kali Yuga, in the Bhagavatam it may be written that maybe the female body is little less capable than the male body in understanding the truth. But in Kali Yuga, if you see Kunti Maharani in the first canto, she writes, and Prabhupada writes in the commentary, that female bodied souls are more easily attracted to the Lord. So even though they may have a philosophical and emotional side, in Kali Yuga, if the emotional side is more stronger, then you get attracted to the Lord. So even when I go for traveling in the Kathas, a lot of Matajis come and few Prabhujis. Always Matajis are more. They are very interested in the Katha, and they have they don't have to intellectually convince themselves like men have to do. They have to intellectually convince themselves. They have that spontaneous thing for Katha and Kirtan like that. So one should not call anyone inferior, anyone superior in Kali Yuga, because anyway everybody is degraded. Kalau Shudra Sambhava. In Kali Yuga everybody is born a Shudra. So it's it's not, one should not make such of the Varnashram. The whole Varnashram system has become distorted. It's non-existent right now. So if you try to follow some parts of Varnashram and try to forcefully implement them, that is not going to help in any way. Like it is said that the wife should always be submissive to the husband. But the thing is, if the husband is not a devotee, then so that's a problem. In the Vedic times, the wife was always submissive to the husband because the husband was a devotee. He was a guru. He was showing the right path in bhakti. But if the husband is not, then it becomes asadhu sangha, atsat sangha tyag ei vaishnavachar. If the husband is stopping the wife from chanting or doing bhajan, and then it is not that is not the correct sangha to take for the wife. So in the Vedas traditional system, it may say the wife should never leave the husband. But a higher principle is that if the husband is antagonistic to bhakti and creating obstacles in the wife's devotion or vice versa, one can leave that situation. The Varnashram Dharma, the rules are subservient to Bhakti. Bhakti is the main thing in Kali Yuga because that is the only powerful thing in Kali Yuga. So, anyway, we have gone into so many other topics. And I wanted to do a little bit of Harinam Chintamani today. And then it's already time. The day when you missed, I would like to read a few verses so that नाम नामी एक तत्व विश्वास करिया दस अपराध छाड़ी निर्जने बसिया. It's a very important verse by Bhaktivinoda Thakur because he teaches us how to do japa. He says the japa should normally be done in a solitary place, trying to establish connection with the holy name. We find that devotees chant in a big groups, and it's good. I mean, some devotees fall asleep if they chant alone, and they chant in big groups, which is also a good endeavor. But the real bhajan of japa should be done nirjane bosiya. It's described in this word. Nirjane bosiya means full attention to the holy names and entering deep into the mysteries of the holy names. And what how we should chant? It is described. Shri Sama Sundara Swarupa hoye na udaye jabe naam rupe aikya sadhana hoye. So we have to awaken the form in our heart while chanting, and that is known as Swecha Purvika. There is one stage described in Shishashtakam commentary by Bhakti Siddhanta or Bhaktivinoda Thakur, Sambodhan Bhashya. I think in his commentary that there is a stage known as Swecha Purvika while chanting. It means that when we are chanting, in the beginning we have to make an attempt to remember the form while chanting. Gradually, when the form becomes situated in our heart, then it will come spontaneously. Nama Rupa Guna Leela. But in the beginning we have to make an attempt. We have to see a photograph, or we have to see the deities, or we have to focus on the form. It is known as Tratak. You know Tratak? You heard of the word Tratak? In yoga, in Hatha Yoga, there is a process known as Tratak, where you constantly focus on one's object very deeply, so that when you close the eyes you can see that object very clearly in your heart. So what Bhaktivinoda Thakur is recommending here in Harinam Chintamani is focus. You focus fully on that, on the form of the Lord, Tratak, and then you close your eyes and chant by seeing that form in your heart. And moment you lose that form, again you open your eyes, again you look at the form and chant very deeply, and try to situate the form in your heart. Another very useful practice, I don't know whether anyway, very useful practice which I have found, it is described in the Ram Tapani Upanishad, that writing the names, writing the names, it's a very, very beautiful way to meditate on the form of the Lord while chanting. It really helps you to, when you do japa, if you write your names, like the Sanskrit syllables, in India there are many, many devotees who fill books of the Maha Mantra. You have seen that? Devotees writing the Maha Mantra, and then they bury it in the temple where the temple construction is going on, or some holy place. Or there in Vrindavan there's so many write Radha's name. Radha, 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 Radha. So Hare Krishna. So writing the name is a very, very, because the Sanskrit syllables of the name, they are very powerful means of meditating on the Lord. Gaurkishore Das Babaji used to keep the syllables of the name in front of him while chanting. So that is if you can't focus on the deity or the form, you can look at the syllables, the Sanskrit syllables. Think of the syllables. Even if you think of the syllables, you will see the face of the Lord. It is so powerful, it is so interconnected. Yes. Yes. Yeah. Because that's what I'm saying, that every akshara of the mantra, Mahamantra, every syllable of the name is non-different from the Lord. It's totally non-different. Nama Nami Abhinna. Like we are doing this mantra Shila worship here, we are carving the Mahamantra and the names on the Shila and worshipping. It was done by Nityananda Prabhu's son, Veerbhadra Gosai. In Bengal, there is one, even now you will find Veerbhadra Goswami's Nam Shila. If you go, he has carved the Mahamantra on the stone and the offering Bhoga. And Mahanidhi Swami wrote about it in his Art of Chanting Hare Krishna. He wrote about this Veerbhadra Gosai, how he started this Nam Shila worship. So it was done by Nityananda Prabhu's son, who is incarnation of Shirodakashai Vishnu, and the Paramatma in everyone's heart. That is what is his name? Veer Chandra Gosai, Veerbhadra Gosai. So writing the names also. And what I normally do is, while in my bhajan, I found that when you write on the paper, the syllables become very small. It's very difficult to, it's very hard to meditate. So sometimes what I do, it's my personal realization. Sometimes what I do, I just sit and I just write in the air. I just write the syllables in the air. Because even more than looking at them, when you write in the air like Hare Krishna, like that, yeah, in Sanskrit, then my Lord, I'm surprised. I was discussing with Mahanidhi Maharaj, I was asking him, because I have very, very peculiar realizations. Like when I write the syllables in the air and then I keep my hand down, I see the face of Radharani. It's so powerful. It's so powerful, the syllables. I was surprised that the syllables, they manifest the form. The name, the sound manifests the form, the syllables. But when you try to write in English, H, Hare, then nothing happens. When I try to write H-A-R-E, then I don't see anything. Because it's like you were mentioning, that it's a little alien language. For the mantras, it's not, it's like Sanskrit is a language from Goloka. So there is a power. And that's pronunciation, the syllables, like Hano, Krishna, Hano. That pronunciation is not there in the English language. Actually, English language cannot pronounce the name of Krishna properly. You know that? Krishna is not the correct pronunciation. We have made the diacritic marks where we add the dot below N. We add the dot below S. Add the dot below R. But ultimately, very few people know why there is a dot below N and how to pronounce that. Very few people know that. Yeah. Yes. Yes. Krishna. Actually, the dot below N means your tongue should touch the top of your palate. It should go round. Krishna. Krish. Krish. In Krish, the tongue will not touch the palate. Kri comes from the tip of the tongue. But when you say Krishna, your tongue should go round. Krishna. It should bounce. Krishna. That is the exact pronunciation. Anastu nivritti vachako tayor aikyam parabrahma iti abhidiyate. In the Mahabharata it is said, Krish means all attractive and Hana means one who gives liberation, who gives happiness, bhakti. So we have to pronounce it correctly. But it's very difficult to That is why Krishna came as Gaura. His name is easier to pronounce. Gaura. Gaura. Anyone can. There is even a cow they have named as Gaura. So they call it Gaura. If you see in the dictionary, you will find Gaura is the name of a cow or a bull. Something in the English language. Gaura. So Gaura and Gauranga is like that. So and Nitai word is a lot of bliss, because Nitai is the name called by Nityananda's mother. When he was going, after 12 years, he was leaving Ekachakra Dham. Padmavati was running after him, said, Nitai, 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 where are you going? So Nitai is a very dear name. Just like Nimai is a very dear name to Nityananda Prabhu. You know that? Nimai. When somebody says Nimai, Nityananda Prabhu gives up everything and comes to embrace that person. Nimai. That is why in Bhakti Ratnakar it is said that our Sampradaya is known as Nimanand Sampradaya. Nimanand Sampradaya. Another name. Because it's very dear to Nitai. And Nitai is very dear to Nimai. And Nimai is very dear to Nitai. So, like that. All names of the Lord have equal potencies and power, and we have to chant with full concentration. And today I explained you some of the methods where we can chant. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. Yes. You have question?
Which is again to the point you said about the pronunciation of Krishna. Is it like that even like when a child doesn't properly pronounce the name of his father and his mother, then still the father or mother, he or she knows that actually, oh, it's me, he's calling me. So can't we say that also applies to Krishna's name? Like even like, for example, the Chinese, they can't really pronounce Rama, they say Lama Lama, they can't really pronounce the R. But still Krishna knows, he's seeing the intention, he's not...
That is true. Certainly they will get a lot of benefit, because Krishna will see the intention behind it. But if you have real love for Krishna, if any devotee has, then the devotee should also try to pronounce correctly. Why to give trouble to the Lord? It's okay. The Lord will consider the bhava. Ultimately, the Lord considers the bhava behind this. But if one wants to become a sincere devotee, then one should try to learn also. What's the harm in trying to learn to pronounce correctly? Also, there is that I told you about in Harinam Chintamani. It is described there is a Varna Vyavadhan and Tattva Vyavadhan. There are two kinds of things which reduce the potency of the holy names. When we are chanting, Vyavadhan means obstacle. Not exactly obstacle. Vyavadhan means kind of a little diversion or something like that. Vyavadhan. So, Tattva Vyavadhan is very bad. Nobody should do Tattva Vyavadhan. Tattva Vyavadhan means you chant the name of Krishna, but you do not know anything about Krishna's position, and you want to become Krishna. Mayavad. Impersonalistic bhav while chanting, like sometimes some people may chant, but they want to become God. And they want to enjoy like God. So, that mentality is known as Tattva Vyavadhan. Means philosophically they have no understanding of the name. They chant without philosophical understanding. So that is more serious. But there is the Varna Vyavadhan also. Haridas Thakur is mentioning this. And Bhaktivinoda Thakur is mentioning this in Harinam Chintamani. I am sorry for the mosquitoes. We will keep one more fan, one or two fans there next time. Varna Vyavadhan means incorrect pronunciation. And Haridas Thakur says that if you pronounce incorrectly, some amount of potency will be lost. So we have to accept the Namacharya. He is the authority in the holy names. And ultimately the Lord accepts the bhav. But the thing is, if one has bhav, then why not try to pronounce correctly? One can always try. There's no harm. Like Hare, Hare also, Hare Krishna. Hare, Hare should not become Hari. Hare is a vocative of Hari. Hari becomes Hare in vocative address. Hara and Hari, both become vocative, they become Hare. You call, oh Hara, then it becomes Hare. You, oh Hari, then it becomes Hare. Hare is a vocative for both Hara and Hari, both Radha and Krishna. You can take it in whatever way. Normally Gaudiya Vaishnavas, we take it as Radha, oh Hara. We are calling to Radha, Hara. But it is also a vocative of oh Hari. Comes Hare. Yes. 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 Even in Goloka, I mean, while doing all their activities, they are chanting. That is why Haridas Thakur says that the holy names is the means as well as the goal. We should not think the holy name is like a ladder or a means. And when we attain prema, we will give up the holy names. Like some impersonalists say that we climb on the ladder, go to the roof and then kick out the ladder so that I can't come down again. But the names is not like that. The naam is sadhana or sadhya. It is the means and the goal. It is the bhajan and the bhajya. I mean, it's a goal also. Chant the name is also the goal. The goal is what? Right now I am chanting, and the goal is to chant purely. Shuddha Naam. That's the goal. So that is why the holy name is the most powerful process in Kali Yuga, because the name, the means and the goal have become one. In all other parts of yoga and Ashtanga yoga, Gyan yoga, Raj yoga, all these paths, the means is different than the end. When you attain the end, you give up the means. But the name is not like that. The name is the means and the name is the goal of all our bhajan. Like Prabhuji said, even the gopis, they attain love, they are still chanting. That is how they relish the Leela. They relish all the Leela. So, is it okay? Okay. Any other questions? Yes.
You spoke at the beginning, you spoke about the manjaris and the sakis, and how the manjaris actually refuse to enjoy with Krishna. But there is one shloka in Radharasa Benini by Prabhupada Saraswati Thakur, where actually that manjari is enjoying with Krishna.
Prabodhananda Saraswati is a Sakhi.
They're different, I'm reading probably different purport.
Yeah, no, the Radha Ras Sudha Nidhi is written by Prabodhananda Saraswati in Sakhi Bhav, not Manjari Bhav.
I mean the commentary I'm reading, like Vanatha Babaji, he has the realization that she is Manjari.
No, Prabodhananda Saraswati is Tunga Vidya.
Yeah, but that's
Yeah.
different realizations about that.
Yeah,
There still is one shloka where, the point I would like to make is that the manjaris might not have, or they might refuse to enjoy the Krishna, but still sometimes, if it's the order of Radharani, then something might happen, even if they refuse. And then while that's happening, they look at the feet of Radharani. And their goal is always to please Radharani. That doesn't mean that the manjaris don't have any, there's nothing going on. It's not their desire, but if it's to please Radharani, then something might happen. Because sometimes we get the feeling of the manjaris, they don't have anything to do with Krishna. Krishna, only Radharani. But sometimes things are happening, but that's to please Radharani.
Yes, yeah, I mean, the Acharyas, they write that there was a conversation between Radha and Krishna. In Bhakti Rasamrit Sindhu, I think there is one Leela where Krishna complains to Radharani, these Manjaris are not accepting my offer. They are not. So Radharani actually was happy. I think in Bhakti Rasamrit Sindhu or Ujjwal Nilmani, either of them. Radharani is actually happy with their bhav, in their mood. Because you see, don't think that because the Manjaris are not getting Anga Sangha with Krishna, they are missing something. Actually, when Chaitanya Charitamrita gives a secret that when Radha and Krishna are uniting, then when the Manjaris are looking at the Leela of Radha and Krishna, Radharani is feeling 10 million times more happiness than Krishna while enjoying with Krishna. But the Manjaris are feeling 10 million times more happiness than Radharani. This is in Chaitanya Charitamrita.
That's hard to really understand.
Yeah.
Because it Manjaris
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's written by Krishnadas Kaviraj. He says that the Manjaris are feeling more happiness than even Radhika. Because, I mean, they facilitate their union.
And also the experience of everything in their own bodies.
Yeah, what Radha is experiencing, the Manjaris they experience. Not fully, but because they are, I mean, the Radharani is ultimately Ladini Shakti, but they experience because they are the leaves of the creeper. Of Radharani is like a creeper, and Manjaris are the leaves, as described in Chaitanya Charitamrita. So don't think that Manjaris are missing something. Actually, they are refusing Krishna's offer because they are getting more. They are getting much more in return. When they see Radha and Krishna unite, they are getting much more. That's why they do not want to. Because see, Radharani is Krishna's Ladini Shakti, but Radha is Vamya Gopi. Vamya means she does get jealous. Radharani gets jealous. That's why she goes into Mahan. And gopis, the Manjaris don't want to risk that. They don't want to risk Radharani's jealousy. Because there is one Virja Gopi, you know that pastime, and Krishna was enjoying, Radharani entered and she became liquid, water. That's how the Ganga is coming. The Virja. In the Brahma Vaivarta Purana it is described. Radharani got angry. Why Krishna is enjoying. So, I mean, these are all transcendental pastimes, very high pastimes, but the whole thing is that the Manjaris don't want to risk the safest for them. The highest happiness which they are getting, they don't want to risk to lose that. Because if Radharani thinks, of course Radharani is very happy for other gopis to enjoy with Krishna, like Lalita, Vishakha, they enjoy with Krishna. Even Tunga Vidya, Prabodhananda Saraswati, Yuteshwari, is a group leader. She has her own group, Sakhis. And I personally feel my realization of Radha Rasa Sudha Nidhi is that it is basically in the bhav of Prabodhananda Saraswati, and we accept the verdict of Kavi Karnapur in Gaur Ganoddesh Deepika that he is Tunga Vidya Sakhi, he is not a Manjari. I mean, we accept the Acharyas what they say, that Tunga Vidya is a Sakhi who is playing musical instruments and who is very expert in assisting, and that Tunga Vidya Sakhi became Prabodhananda Saraswati in Gaur Leela. This is mentioned in both places, in Kavi Karnapur's Gaur Ganoddesh Deepika, and it is also mentioned in Bhaktiratna Sadhu, when Prabodhananda Saraswati is glorified by Narhari Chakravarti Thakur. So we can't accept, somebody's individual realization may be there, but normally we accept what Kavi Karnapur has said as our authority, because Kavi Karnapur heard it from Shivananda Sen and Shivananda Sen heard it from Rupa Goswami, Haridas Thakur, Lord Gauranga himself, all the forms of all the acharyas in Krishna's Leela. So I don't think it would be proper to take out Manjari Bhav from Radha Rasudhanidhi, because it is more Sakhi Bhav. If you want to take Manjari Bhav, you should read Vilap Kusumanjali. Vilap Kusumanjali is Raghunath Das Goswami, he is Manjari. Braj Vilas Tava, and what else? This Hamsaduta, other Rupa Goswami's books you can read. Uddhav Sandesh. All that. Of course, Radha Rasudhanidhi is the topmost book on Radharani's glories. It is the topmost book on Radharani's Tattva. But it is from the perspective of a Sakhi, not a Manjari. Because when an author writes a book, his bhav goes into that. His Siddha bhav, his Swarup. Like Rishadas Kaviraj is a Manjari, so he wrote in that bhav in Govinda Lilamrit. If you read Govinda Lilamrit, it is from the perspective of a Manjari. It's Madhurya. And if you read Krishna Bhavnamrit, that is also Vishwanath Chakrabarti is also Manjari. So like that. And these are very high topics, but I mean, one should discuss them and answer, otherwise doubts remain. So it's okay. Any other? It's 8:30. Why? I cannot. Why Nima is dear to Nityananda? Yeah. It is mentioned in Bhakti Ratnakar. In Bhakti Ratnakar, Narahari Chakravarti mentions that Nima is very dear to Nityananda Prabhu, this name, and he is always chanting. Because of the childhood past in Navadvip Leela. In Navadvip Leela, he is known as Nimai. And Nitai was very angry with the Lord when he took sannyas. That is why Nitai broke the danda. He broke the danda. According to Chaitanya Charitamrit, he broke it here in Bhargi Nadi, in Danda Bhanga. And according to Chaitanya Bhagavat, he broke it near Baleshwar, near Remuna. So some scriptures have a little bit of a difference in the Leela, but that can be understood as different kalpas. Like when an acharya sits to write a book, the pastimes are manifest in his heart, but it is not fixed which kalpa's pastimes are manifest in his heart. It may be this kalpa or the previous kalpa. Every kalpa, the Lord does his pastimes little differently. Every day of Brahma, the Lord performs his pastimes little differently. Like in Garga Samhita, it's mentioned once Krishna came, and when Kansa attacked, Krishna lifted Govardhan and he attacked Kansa. Some kalpa it is mentioned. One kalpa it is mentioned Kansa went to Vrindavan and the gopis took him and put in the well and made him wash clothes and all that. So every time there is a little difference in the past times. Like that. Every kalpa, each kalpa is a little bit of a change. So today is the last day, and Bhaktin Sabina Mataji is leaving tomorrow. So thank you very much for your association, and
Thank you for yours.
it has been wonderful. And I hope you will come again and again.
Thank you very much for so personally taking care, bringing me to different places, and could really have some realizations about how Vrindavan and Jagannath Puri actually connect.
Yes, yes.
And,
Oh, camera. घुमा दो.
Last day. Yes.
कैमरा खाली घुमा दो. हाँ बस.
not too fast.
No. You will have to hold this mic though.
No mic.
Okay, तो mic निकाल दो. माइक निकाल दो साइड से साइड में. हाँ.
So I just speak to you and they can listen. I would like to thank you very much for so personally taking care.
You have to thank them.
Yeah, it was really nice. Like Maharaj brought me on different playgrounds and also occasionally chastised me. We had very intense discussions, and I'm really sorry if I committed some apparatus. Sometimes our opinions were a little different in some points, but I would like to thank you very much for your care and your attention, and you've really, like as I mentioned before, you have kind of shown me that the connections between Jagannath Puri and Vrindavan, also Mayapur, and it's been a really very wonderful week full of realizations, and I also feel I have somehow gained a little more taste for the holy name.
Hari Bol.
Hari Bol. And also Panchatattva is beautiful, all the devotees are very beautiful, Tulsi, Premananda Prabhu. Yeah, I can only recommend it to everyone to come to Jagannath Puri and take part in the parikrams and take the mercy of Maharaj.
Gol Premananda.
Hari Bol.
Bhaktin Sabina Mataji ki jai.
Swami Gauranga Pada ki jai.
Dham ki jai. Prabhupada ki.
And ভালো করে দিতে উঠে যেতে আগে ওটা সেকেন্ড
हो गया?
आटा भी हाँ आटा तो क्लोज कर दी.
She overlapped.
He overlapped. That kind of Ekadashi one should not do.
But you think there will be a problem when I'm traveling tomorrow because it's Ekadashi? I'm like, it's said not to travel on Ekadashi, it's not auspicious.
It's okay.
If
you want to stay one day more, if you want to stay one day more, we have no objection.
No, my flight.
Two more to rise.
But there should not be any problem. By our acharyas, it is explained in Chaitanya Charitam, Nityananda Name Hoy, Param Ullas, Balaram Das or Ramadas, all the associates of Nityananda, all the 12 cowherd boy sakhas, they were all chanting Nityananda's mantra. And Madhavendra Puri also chanted Nityananda's mantra, he explained in inverted commas.
So just Nityananda.
Nityananda, yeah.
Don't chant Nitai.
No, I mean that it's a form of a mantra. Nityananda is
It's actually a mantra.
It's a 5-syllable mantra. Nityananda is a 5-syllable mantra.
Is that in Chaitanya Charitamrita? Does it mention?
Yeah, in Chaitanya Charitamrita also Krishnadas Kaviraj mentions Nityananda bolite hobe Krishna premudaya avlaya sakal ang ashru gangavai. So he puts Nityananda in inverted commas like this. Nityananda word. When there is a mantra, he puts in inverted commas.
I see. They have inverted commas in Bengali.
Yeah, means kind of yes. I mean the original manuscript it is there.
Okay.
That's a book published by Bhakti Siddhanta Gaudiya Math. It's there. So, and Madhavendra Puri mentions the glories of Nityananda's name in Chaitanya Bhagavat.
Sometimes you feel like just maybe. What if you feel like an urge to chant Nitai?
You can do that. Yeah, sure.
But you should finish.
I have started a method called Nitai Pranakriya to attract those people who like who are not directly interested in bhakti by yoga to attract them, and in that process I give them the short mantras. Nitai and Gaura are like short forms of Nityananda and Gauranga. These are short mantras. So there, with the breath, especially if you want to chant with the breath, Nitai. Every breath you can say Nitai, 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 Gaur, Gaur. While breathing, you can connect it with your breath. So when you pranayam, you can do that. That's one cycle is known as one knows Ni, Tai, Gaur, Ra. Two breaths will comprise of one cycle. Nitai, Gaura. Nitai, Gaura, Nitai.
This pranayam is like, I think it's part of the Vaishnava practice.
Yeah, pranayam, I was explaining to Mataji that pranayam in Hari Bhakti Vilas it is described.
What's the term for it? Is it
Pranayam, it is known as Anulom Vilom. Anulom Vilom is a basic pranayam which is very useful.
Is it taught for doing anik? Is it taught for doing anik? Is that why they teach it for when you're doing your anik? You're doing your gayatri. Is that why they teach it for you, so you can go deeper into meditation?
Yeah, exactly. When doing your gayatri as well as your japa, both. When you do 15 minutes of pranayam before starting japa, according to Hari Bhakti Vilas, Sanatana Goswami says that then your mind becomes very peaceful.
15 minutes.
Yeah, it's around that. I think I don't remember the exact verse in Hari Bhakti Vilas. We have to research that, find out. It said approximately like one can do it. And I mean, my personal experience also 15 minutes is quite effective. Pranayam you can't do for a very long time. You have to gradually increase, because your capacity of your lungs also should increase gradually. At one shot you can't do like half an hour. And pranayam really makes your mind very peaceful.
You teach that?
Huh?
You teach how to do that?
Yeah. I have this Nitai Prana Kriya, this method I have launched, which is a very easy method. But pranayam done with the mantra is more powerful, with our holy names, than just doing it. An expansion of the stomach and the chest also. So sometimes devotees say that if I think about the contraction and expansion of the stomach, I forget the holy names. So the best method I found is telling when they are breathing inside, they should think that Nita is going inside, the syllables. Ni, and when they are breathing outside, Ta is coming outside. Go.
Outside and inside.
So you think of them going inside, so you can simultaneously think about the breath also, and you can think of the names also. So sphere of your brain. There are left and right hemispheres, and Ida and Pingala. There are two nostrils, and the between the nostril is Sushumna. And the Sushumna is the nadi which passes through all our chakras, 6 chakras. So the Sushumna.
That's described in Bhagavatam as well, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's a dolphin, isn't it?
The Prana Vayus. Bhagavatam describes the 10 Prana Vayus. I have written an article on the Prana Vayus and why pranayam is good to control the mind. So the soul is actually floating above the Prana Vayus, like this. And when the Prana Vayus become agitated, the soul also becomes agitated. So pranayam means it pacifies the pranavayus basically. These modern exercises of jogging and jumping, skipping, all these things, they take the pranavayu outside. They are actually more extrovert. Whereas yogic exercises and pranayam, they take the pranavayu inside.
There's modern exercises that actually end up, they just agitate your mind.
Yeah. Plus they shorten your life. You know that?
Because you're breathing.
When you're jogging, you're breathing fast, so it is shortening your life.
Right.
Because your number of...
Anyway, I've never liked it anyway.
Okay. So number of breaths are fixed. Of course, maybe after you jog and maybe the breath becomes a little slower.
In the back. Then if you the right intention.
Even if you dance, whatever way you if you're dancing before the Lord, even if you want, somehow you dance. That's very difficult. I mean, Haridas Thakur, he was dancing, you know that pastime, no? One snake charmer, he was playing, he is charming and the snake was, so Haridas Thakur came walking, and after hearing that he remembered Kaliya, you know how the snake was, Kaliya's Leela, and he started dancing so beautifully. Haridas started dancing, all the thousands of people came around and they were seeing his beautiful dancing, you know, like incense you move around, you can't see, like he was dancing so fast and so beautifully, his feet were not touching the earth, you know, so beautiful. And so many thousands assembled. So there was one Brahmana, he thought, oh, this is a nice way to become famous. I'll also dance like this and people will... So when Haridas Thakur was dancing, this snake charmer was looking very respectfully, he was playing for the pleasure of Haridas. But when this Brahmana started dancing, he came inside and all the people surrounding and he started dancing, just making a show, you know, to show everyone that he can dance. So this snake charmer, he put his charm down and he took a stick and he started beating that Brahman. Started beating so much. He fell on the ground. Everybody said, stop. He started beating. So then everybody asked him, why Haridas is dancing, you are looking respectfully, and he is dancing, you are beating him. So he said, because Haridas Thakur has no external consciousness. He is not worried about the name, fame and prestige by dancing. He is fully absorbed in the Lord's Leela. Whereas this Brahmana, he is just doing it for show. So I am beating him.
Well, that snake charmer must be very advanced.
Huh?
Yeah, he must have been very advanced also.
Yeah, yes. Yes.
Have you heard of the devotees in Scotland?
Yes, I think his name is something Bhakti Kusum. No, different name.
Okay, yeah, you've got to try my devotees.
Yeah.
More coming?
Anyway,
He used to
One
preach
year-
gold.
yeah, he did.
1 year, in 1 year.
1 year after.
Yeah.
Anyway,
When I was born.
because I
One
wanted
is
to be
after
under his
his
kind of jurisdiction.
Okay.
No.
No, very Muslim.
And,
Yeah.
I'm going to devote this one picture of Mitch and Amanda.